I can see Paula, I can see Ian Martin, Gareth, Councillor Simpkins, Linda at the moment. Oh, and there's Councillor Bird. Sarah's there too, I can see people. I'm advised that we are quorus. I'm therefore going to commence the meeting in line with the agenda that's been previously set. So do we have any apologies for absence?
Yes, Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Chatfield, Councillor O'Boyle, Nick Abel and Councillor Clark, but we've got Councillor Salim in his attendance. Thank you.
So welcome to Councillor Salim from Dudley. Good to see you here in place of Steve Clark today. Are there any declarations of interests from any member of the board today? Nobody's indicating, so we'll move on. The minutes of the last meeting of the 19th of July have been previously circulated. I'm just taking those as a true record. Are there any questions or matters that relate to those minutes that anyone wishes to raise at this point in time? Nobody's indicating. I'm therefore going to agree those as a true record of the meeting of the 19th of July. We therefore move to business items for noting. We move to the investment board programme update and dashboard. We'll do the programme update first, and then we'll move into the dashboard. The papers are going to be previously circulated. Linda or Ian, I don't know which one of you is going to take it. Normally Ian.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So moving through the investment programme, funding commitments as at the end of July were 853.6 million. That's versus the funding available from confirmed income streams of 871. And that's excluding earmarked contributions approved by WMCA board. So from the earmarked funding made available by extending the IP affordable limit in March, approvals so far been confirmed for the co-invest fund subject to an FBC, 12.5 mil. City Learning Quarter, Wolverhampton Phase 1, 7.8 million. And the 5-year plan for 2041 at 5.1 million, and Coventry Electric Bus at 5 million. Additional funds of 15 million were provisionally allocated by CA board to cover specific budget risks. The costs incurred, which are basically the drawings on the investment programme, which are calculated in this one to the end of May with the latest data, was 307.6 million. That's quite an increase from the previous month at 294 as projects advance and drawings are made as the projects continue. We've also put a note in the report asking board to note that the DfT have now issued their guidance in respect to a national 4.2 billion city region sustainable transport settlement, kind of known as CRUST, where the region will be bidding for transport projects, and currently DfT is working with the Met to put a list of those projects together. Hopefully that will mean that some of the projects in the investment programme will continue to be funded beyond what's available from the investment programme. Councillor Slayer, I can move to questions. We'll move into the IP dashboard.
Just hold for a moment. We have some pretty bad feedback. Okay. Yeah, if anyone is not on mute, perhaps you could just mute so we could just make sure that we don't get the interference on the line. Okay, you have had the papers, so are there any questions in relation to the investment programme before we go to the actual dashboard item? Anyone on the screen wishes to indicate, just do so and I'll bring you in accordingly. No. Okay, I'm therefore going to move to the dashboard. So you just want to highlight the issues in the dashboard Those are in page 15 to 17 within your papers. There are a couple of red status schemes, 13 with no change, and you just want to go through those, Ian, and then we can take the whole report as being noted. Thank you.
Sure. So we have 78 projects on the dashboard. We're continuing to break those down into sub-projects, the ease of monitoring. We've got 13 red status. There aren't financial implications with those. These are end dates where we're speaking to project sponsors to understand why the project is overrunning and have change requests to understand a new date, which will then go through our assurance project, our insurance procedure. The HS2 Parallel Designs project has been expired for a while. That is currently going through on change request. We're speaking to SMBC on that. There are also various UKC infrastructure projects which are quite connected, which is what the issue is, and getting a change request on those, but that is being progressed. And then finally, there's the Coventry City Centre South scheme, which is moving ahead nicely. The selected developer is out looking for a development partner to bring in funding into that project. When that has been established and we know which partners or partner are likely to be with them, we can have a look then firmly at the costs and GDV, and that'll be something that we can bring back to the board and seek that as a change request.
Thank you. Any questions? I would declare an interest as a nominated director of the Urban Growth Company, which actually is in essence UKC HS2 element of the business. Any questions or any points of clarification required? I'm looking at the screen. I can't see anyone indicating at this point in time. I therefore am going to ask that we just agree to note the report as presented. All agreed? All agreed. Thank you. We then now move to some of those other items for noted. There are 3 in total. There's the Collective Investment Fund dashboard. There's a Brownfield Land and Property Investment Fund dashboard, and the WMCA Revolving Investment Fund dashboard. I'm going to pass to Nick Oakley, who's here in the room with us, to actually highlight any issues in the public section. These are not the items that are in the private elements of the report. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Chair. So, as usual, the first suite of WMC dashboards are the public dashboards. I will update fully on the private sector, so unless there's any questions on the public dashboards, I will update later on.
Any questions or comments with regard to the public dashboards? Can't see anybody on the screen indicating those items are just for noting accordingly. All agreed, we'll note. Thank you very much. We now move to the private session of the board, and I therefore have to pass the following resolution. That in accordance with section 100A4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the press and public be excluded from the meeting due to consideration of the following items of business, as they involve the likely disclosure of exempt information relating to the business affairs of any particular person.